Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. In this episode, we'll be reviewing the second one day between England and Pakistan. England have won the game and won this series. Unbelievable because, this is the second or third string team. A lot of players that we haven't seen before on the international stage coming in and performing. Just goes to show the bench strength that England have, especially in the limited overs format. It's a fantastic win for them if you look at it, because this is a strong Pakistan team. They've turned over teams like South Africa in the past as well. So, this is the ground. Not the ground, but this is the place where Pakistan won the Champions Trophy as well in England. So, a lot of players from there as well in that tournament. And it was a strong Pakistan team, I think. Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, really good batsmen. They have Hassan Ali, Shaheen Afridi, but they just couldn't get the better of England. And, some surprise players for me, Saqib Mahmood, what a fantastic find for England. He's been the player of the series for me. Very accurate, has a bit of pace as well. It's that Stuart Broad kind of thing. He gets the ball to just jag back a bit, even like to the left-hander, he shapes it in and then gets that outside edge. He has that in-swinger as well. We saw he got Babar Azam with the outswinger in the first game. The second, in today's game, he got him with the in-swinger, LBW. Brilliant. And, the likes of Phil Salt and Lewis Gregory, even John Simpson, Bryden Curse, all these guys, they performed really, really well, I think. So, yeah, in this game, Pakistan won the toss, elected to bowl first, opposite to the last game where England bowled first. They wanted to make use of conditions. And I think it was a good start for Pakistan. Picked up a couple of wickets, both Crawley and Malan getting out for 0. And then it was the Phil Salt and James Vince show. And it just goes to actually show that the way England play, it doesn't matter who's playing, their system is to attack. Owen Morgan has imprinted this in England's DNA. It doesn't matter who's playing, who the personnel are, they're going to play aggressive cricket. And we saw that again, where, Ben Stokes was captain today. There's a completely different team, but the style of cricket was the same. And at one stage, it looked like it was going to be very risky because after that partnership, James Vince and Phil Salt, they put on that partnership, both of them getting to 50s, and they both got out trying to accelerate even more. So, the run rate was above 6. They didn't need to play those shots, but that's just the brand of cricket they play. Ben Stokes came in, he tried to hit, he got out. Overton as well. And even John Simpson to that extent. All these guys tried to come play aggressive cricket, they got out. And, we thought like maybe this might not be the right strategy considering the personnel of the team, but it doesn't matter. This is a new England kind of strategy since Morgan took over, and it's working because then Lewis Gregory and Bryden Curse came, and this is where the match turned. I felt this was the match-winning partnership. Gregory with 40 or 47 balls, Curse with 31 or 41. They weren't as aggressive as the previous batsmen, but they were working the singles. They were rotating the strike. They played time. They knew that they already had some runs on the board. It was just about trying to play the full 47 overs. I think it was a truncated game. So the full 47 overs, and that's almost what they did. And at one point, 170 for 7, we thought they'll get wrapped up for 190, 200 max. But to get to 247, I think it's a big achievement for England. 250 was, I think, a par score on this wicket. And it's thanks to these two guys. One thing I think Pakistan missed a trick. They bowled too many short deliveries, I think, to these guys, and they played them really well. I understand it's tailenders who want to test them out, but I think it's more you should attack the stumps, try to get their wicket, either LBW, bowled, even caught behind. There's more dismissals that come into play if you attack the stumps. Whereas if you're bowling short, there's not too much. If it's a test match, it's different. Even in one days, like it's a good surprise ball, but I think Pakistan over bowled it. But yeah, I think 250, 247 was a really good score on this wicket. But still, they had a lot to do, England. And if you just look at Pakistan's bowling side of things, Hassan Ali, I think, was fantastic. He rolled back the years in the sense that in Champions Trophy in 2017, he bowled similar to that. We saw glimpses of that today. A 5 for excellent bowling. He was getting the ball to nip, even getting it to reverse. The way he got Ben Stokes out was fantastic, and he was getting the clean bowls. That's why I'm surprised the way that they bowled to the tailenders was not as how they bowled to the middle order. I think they should have stuck to that kind of plan. And yeah, Hassan Ali was absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Well supported by Shahda picked up a wicket, Shaheen Afridi picked up a wicket as well. Fahim Ashraf was expensive, but yeah, it was the Hassan Ali show. 5 wickets, 51 runs, 9.2 overs. So it was brilliant from him. I still felt that Pakistan were slightly ahead in this game, 247, considering that, England started off so well. I mean, not started off, but the middle overs were going well, 118 for 2, and then suddenly collapsed to 170 for 7. And then, yes, I think Pakistan did leak runs there, but still, I think they would have fancied themselves at halftime. But that was the match-changing partnership for sure, between Gregory and Kars, Brydon Kars. So yeah, and then if you just look at the second innings, it was all England. Saqib Mahmood, the way he bowled was fantastic. Again, Lewis Gregory, all-round show, brilliant. 3 wickets, 44 runs. But the way Saqib bowled, fantastic. The way he got Babar Azam out, excellent. He got Rizwan as well. He's picking up big wickets, and that's I think this guy is going to be a big player for England in all three formats. I've seen him for Lancashire as well. He's performed consistently in the domestic circuit, and especially in these conditions, I think he is brilliant. But even in the subcontinent, in Australia, where you have to hit the deck, I think he will do well, Saqib Mahmood. And for me, he's been the find of the series. Again, Lewis Gregory batted really well, bowled fantastic as well, picked up 3 wickets. Craig Overton picked up a couple of wickets. He's a very good all-rounder to watch out in the future. He didn't provide too much with the bat today, but I think he has it in him. And Matt Parkinson, the spinner, Hassan Ali got into him. The way he smashed him, hit him for 3, 4 sixes, but he held his nerve, kept floating and picked up a couple of wickets. And this was that sort of pitch at Lords where there's something in it for the batsmen, the bowlers, and the fielders are always into play. So, when there's a bad ball, it's very easy for the batsman to pick it to the boundary. We saw that today. The way the England top order batted, and even the way Pakistan were hitting in between Saud Shakil, even Hassan Ali. When it's in the slot, it goes. But in England with the conditions, even this pitch, like one ball has your number, and I think that's why the way England played, it was actually an advantage for them because they played aggressive. They did lose wickets, but Pakistan were too conservative, I think, initially, and they always had a run rate to climb. So, they got all out in the end. If they tried to accelerate a bit earlier, they might have got closer to that target. And it was always going to be an uphill task. And when you're like, when you've lost half your side for 86, I think it's always going to be an uphill task for Pakistan. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. It was a brilliant game, especially for England. They'll be really happy. The way Ben Stokes has led this side is commendable. It's an incredible achievement because, like I said, it's a fantastic Pakistan team. Pakistan, on the other hand, they'll have to go back to the drawing board. Babar Azam, captain, is the pressure getting to him? We'll have to see. Batting wise, I'm not going to criticize him too much because yes, he's had a couple of poor games, but he's been superb in the last couple of years for Pakistan. It's just the captaincy side of things, bowling changes, team selection, something that they'll have to work on. I thought he captained well right until the 170 for 7 part. I think he should have, told his bowlers, set a bit more aggressive fields and told them to attack the wickets. Whereas, they went for a short game plan and it just didn't work out. So I think that's something that they will have to work on because it's these fine margins which will win you or lose your games. They will be disappointed because this is not a strong England side, especially on paper. Of course, they showed commendable bench strength, and in the future, a lot of these guys will probably play for England, and credit to them. But yeah, Pakistan will be very disappointed. This was the series for the taking, I felt, for them. And but now it's one more game and then on to the T20s. They'll have to focus on that as well. This England team has plenty of talent. You don't know who's going to pop up and contribute. So they'll have to watch out for that. But until then, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you soon after the next match. Take care.